In this video, I'm looking at 25 more free VST plugins that you should download in 2021. And this includes both instruments and effects. And I'm doing audio tests for all of these plugins, which a lot of these are actually newer plugins too. I'm Zane, welcome to Audio Tech TV, where it's my goal to help you conquer the tech so you can unleash your creative beast. And links to all of the plugins that I mentioned in this video are down in the description. And first up on the list is 808 Bass Module Lite from Electronic Sound Lab. This is an 808 bass rompler plugin that has 15 ready-to-use layered presets. It's very easy to use and has some adjustable settings that will allow you to dial in the sound even more. The 808 Bass Module Lite is available on Mac and Windows. Next up is GDoubler from SNFK Music. This is a pretty simple stereo doubler plugin. You've got 3 controls. The amount knob controls the mix of the doubled signal, the feedback knob controls how much of a tail the doubled signal gets, and saturation saturates the input and output signals to add more warmth to your tracks. Currently, GDoubler is only available on Windows, but they say that they're working on a Mac version.
Friday night and it's off with my head. If you're looking for a reaction, you won't find it here. 'Cause I don't care, I don't know what I said, I don't know what I did. You think I should be bowing to your feet, oh yeah. Baby, you're happy to make me feel bad.
The next free VST plugin is Clon Minotaur Transparent Overdrive from Nembrini Audio. This is modeled after the Clon Centaur guitar distortion pedal from the 90s. Use this in front of a tube amp sim to get some more vintage tube warmth in your tracks. You can get the Clon Minotaur Transparent Overdrive on both Mac and Windows. Next up is Afro Keyz Lite from Afro Plug. This is a very easy to use synth that's really designed for dancehall, R&B, reggaeton, lo-fi, Afro beats, and more. The free Lite version has 6 instrument presets in it, and they can cover a variety of sounds. You can get Afro Keyz Lite on Mac and Windows. Up next is Rusty Piano from Sample Science. This is a lo-fi acoustic piano plugin. They say that it was recorded hot on purpose, and that's what gives it that thick, saturated sound. It's a great character piano for indie rock, lo-fi obviously, and anywhere you might want a saturated sound of an acoustic piano. You can get Rusty Piano on Windows and Mac. Alright, before I get to the next free plugin on the list, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this video so far and getting some value out of it, can you please give it a thumbs up? It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Now, the next free VST plugin on the list is Rift Filter Lite from Minimal Audio. Obviously, this is a filter plugin, but not just any ordinary filter. This one kicks it up to the next level. You get 24 very unique filters that you can switch and choose from, plus you get controls to morph your sound even further. So your tracks are going to sound like something new and exciting. You can get Rift Filter Lite on Mac and Windows. Next up is Wizard Stereo Widener from Audio Fusion Bureau. This is an extremely simple plugin to use. You have the one knob and you turn it clockwise to increase the stereo width of whatever track or bus that you have it on. You can use this on mono or stereo tracks and it does what it claims to do. You can get Wizard Stereo Widener on Mac and Windows. The next free VST plugin is one of my favorite free EQ plugins. This is Merica from Analog Obsession. This is based on the API 550A. It can sound great on pretty much any track. I use it on vocals, guitars, bass, acoustic guitars, and drums sometimes too. Merica is an easy to use plugin. You have your band selector switches along the side, and you can control how much of it you want to add or take away with the knob that's right next to it. You also have a constant bandpass switch too. You can get Merica on Windows and Mac. Next on the list is SD2 Delay from Cherentune. And this is a very simple stereo delay plugin with your basic controls: time, dry, wet, mix knob, and feedback. Straight to the point, and it gets the job done. Cherentune is a new plugin developer, and I look forward to checking out more from them in the future. You can get the SD2 Delay on both Mac and Windows. Next up is a bass guitar plugin. This is Forefront Bass from Yang. This is about as simple as it gets. It gives you the sound of a bass guitar and there's no settings to adjust. If you want to shape your sound, put an amp sim after it and maybe use some EQ and compression, which is what you're likely going to do with a real bass anyway. I used this plugin for years as my bass guitar in my songs and I was able to get realistic bass sounds from it. You can get Forefront Bass on Mac and Windows. The next free VST is a reverb plugin. This is Giantverb from Digital Systemic Emulations. This one is influenced by analog hardware reverbs. The user interface is very well laid out and easy to control. It has input and output controls so you can warm up your audio signal a little bit just like analog gear. Plus there's also a modulation control to add some interest to your reverb sound. Giantverb is available on Windows and Mac. Up next is Hy-Lofi from Hy Plugins. This is a lo-fi plugin. It's pretty straightforward as it features a bit quantizer, drive control, plus high-pass and low-pass filters. If you're searching for lo-fi plugins, this should be a must download for you. You can get Hy-Lofi on Mac and Windows. Next on this list of free VST plugins is Fort 3 Free Edition from Electronic Sound Lab. This is a grand piano instrument. The free version features 1 preset and 6 effect layers. The samples that are used are very nice, and it's a great sounding, easy to use piano plugin. You can get this one on both Mac and Windows. Next on the list is Airshelf EQ from Bertum Audio. This EQ focuses on the high frequencies. It allows you to add some air and sparkle to your tracks with a very easy set of controls. You have 2 knobs, Boost, which is a high shelf EQ centered at 20,000 Hz, and it has a very gradual response to give you a nice smooth sound that isn't harsh. And then there's the Tame knob, which controls some more complex things. And this is going to allow you to smooth out your sound even more to ensure that there's no harshness while working with your high frequencies. Airshelf is available on Mac, Windows, and
like a
Linux.
Fragile bubble. And I'm Friday night and you're mad at me again. If you were the queen of hearts, I'd be off with my head, oh yeah. I don't know what I said, I don't know what I did, but you think I should be bowing to your feet, oh yeah.
This next free VST is a channel strip plugin. This is Loaded from Analog Obsession. This is kind of like a virtual 500 series rack with 6 slots that create a nice channel strip. You get a preamp section, de-esser, gate, EQ, compressor, and then you have your main input and output controls. Each section or processor has its own bypass switch, so you don't need to use everything in there. There's also a master bypass to bypass everything for A/B testing. You can get Loaded on Mac and Windows.
She said, let's dance, but I don't know how to move my feet. She said, just move, but I don't know what she means. She said, let's go. I said, sure, but where we gonna be? She took my hand and looked my way and said, just follow me.
Here's another free reverb plugin. This is VRev 666 from Fuse Audio Labs. It's an emulation of a kind of obscure classic spring reverb from the 60s. You can use it to add a bit of an edge to your tracks or add a dirty ambient sound to synths and guitars or whatever you put it on. This is a cool character reverb that's pretty unique. You can get VRev 666 on Windows and Mac.
Three lights in the sky, 3 lights blinking in the night. And they shine down on me, but I didn't feel a thing.
Next up on the list is Chow Tape from Chowdery DSP. This is a tape machine plugin that was originally modeled after the Sony TC260 reel-to-reel machine, but it now emulates several classic tape machines. You can use this on individual tracks or buses, or even try it on your mix bus to add some tape warmth to your entire track. You can get Chow Tape on Mac, Windows, Linux, and even iOS. The next free VST plugin is Valhalla Space Modulator. This is a free flanging and doubling plugin. It's capable of providing so many different modulation sounds to your tracks, and Valhalla makes some incredible plugins. This is just another great free one in their collection. You have a straightforward user interface with easy-to-use controls, plus you get a ton of presets to get you started. Valhalla Space Modulator is available on Mac and Windows. Here's another free instrument plugin. This one is Saxophia from Fan Am Team. This one is actually a pretty nice sax plugin. You get 4 saxophone emulations: alto, baritone, soprano, and tenor. It features onboard effects and a synthesis section, so you can create a sax sound that's all your own. It also includes some decent presets with it. Saxophia is available on Windows only. Next up is Space Lite Reverb from Cymatics. With this Lite version, you get 3 reverb modes: Space, Hall Long, and Spring 1. You have your dry wet knob, so you can put it on a bus if you like, or if you prefer to use it as an insert plugin, you can do that too. You get your typical reverb settings, plus you have an effects section with distortion. There's EQ, filter, and width controls as well. There's also some very nice presets included too. You can get Cymatics Space Lite on Mac and Windows. The next free VST plugin is Hy-ESG Gate Sequencer from Hy Plugins. It uses a sequencer to control the gate effect. The sequencer can be randomized or modulated using the internal modulation sources. Hy-ESG offers 3 modulation generators that can operate in LFO and SNH modes. It also has dry-wet mix controls to give you some flexibility in how you use it, and there's a built-in preset manager. Hy-ESG Gate is available on Windows and Mac. Next up is Yumbu 2 from Fan Am Team. This is a drum sampler plugin that gives you 10 slots per kit. It also comes with 30 full drum kits to get you started, and you can add your own samples to create your own kits as well. There's a built-in mixer that allows you to adjust settings for each individual slot in the drum sampler. For a free drum plugin, it gives you a lot. You can currently get Yumbu 2 on Windows only. The next free VST plugin is Obvious Filter from FKFX. This plugin turns the input sound into rhythmical sequences by using a morphing filter sequencer with a ton of modulation options. There are 10 resonant filters with incredible response quality and depth. You get 128 presets with this, so you can get started right away and start messing around. And one thing to note is you have to go to their Patreon page to download it, but you don't have to subscribe or log in or anything, but of course it would be nice if you did subscribe to them for a bit. You can get FK Effects Obvious Filter on Mac and Windows. This next free plugin has a funny name, but it delivers on sound. This is Puppy Snuggles from Owlo Lantern. And here's what they say about it. As warm as being jumped by 1,000 poodles might be an exaggeration. And I really love that line. Puppy Snuggles is their take on a classic tremolo effect, but it also features the swamp knob, and this makes the effect become distorted and rolls off highs as the tremolo drops the volume, similar to classic Fender amps. Puppy Snuggles is available on Mac and Windows. The next free plugin is Sabrina Reverb from We Love Walter. This free reverb is rich and smooth. The interface is pretty straightforward, so you shouldn't have any trouble dialing in your sound, and you also get some modulation controls to help the reverb sit perfectly in the mix. Currently, We Love Walter's Sabrina Reverb is only available on Windows. Now, if you want to check out 50 free instrument plugins, click up here, or click down here to see what YouTube recommends. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.